Hello, this is Matthew. I'm in blue. Surprise, surprise. Um, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This is Tolu Sarah Johnson. We report from heaven. We have interviews with people from heaven. And today we're talking to Solomon. I know in advance. We talked to him yesterday. Tolu asks fascinating questions, and the guests give fascinating answers. And I hope that you enjoy this. And I'll pass you over to Tolu with Tolu without saying too much. Okay, this is the Liberation Mountain number 45.
Yes. Thank you, Mario. Welcome, Papa. Welcome, Jesus. Welcome, Holy Spirit. We welcome you, Diana, Bethany, and June. Also, we welcome the inhabitants of earth, the inhabitants of heaven, the inhabitants of paradise, and the inhabitants of hell. We welcome you all. So, our special guest today is King Solomon again. So, we welcome you specially, King Solomon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I pleased to step forth because of Matthew's recommendation. He felt to invite me forward. I'm going to speak in the Taylor Swift book, the Taylor Swift book that's been commissioned. Matthew's only out of 218 books. He's only ever had one book commissioned by another person, and it
Oh,
turned out to be a good book. So
wow.
hopefully the second person to commission a book will get a good book.
Do you mean reframe heaven?
No, no. How to hear God's voice was
Oh,
someone asked me to write a book on how to hear God's voice, and
oh.
and I said to them, write me 20 questions on things that you want to know. And the book was just answering the questions, and it turned out to be a fabulous book.
Okay. So hopefully this one will not let readers down. So thank you, King Solomon. Where do I start? King Solomon, let me ask you an interesting question. Did knowing so much ever make intimacy with God more difficult instead of easier?
Easier.
Easier. Knowing too
Yeah.
much makes the intimacy
The,
easier.
the more wisdom you have, the more you relate to God. It's like
Mm.
taking on the personality of God. There was
Wow.
there
It's
was
like
there was no wars in my kingdom. There was no fighting in my kingdom. There was peace. Uh, I surrounded myself with great leaders. Uh, Israel had a reputation. The Queen of Sheba came to visit because of my reputation. Everything was peaceful, and I was on a path with God. I had a relationship with the Father, and it was a good relationship. I had good prophets. I had a good kingdom. Everything was stable and moving and reacting and being stimulated in the right way.
wow. So, in a way, King Solomon, at what point did your success, your achievement stop feeling fulfilling for you?
Never,
Never.
never. Even when I said all is meaningless,
Yeah.
even though there were frustration in those words, I knew I'd served a wise and faithful God, and life was just frustrating because when you have a lot of wisdom,
Mm.
little things can frustrate you, and
Wow.
purposes of life and meaning in life and all those sorts of little questions and larger questions, they frustrate you because it all seems meaningless after a while.
After a while, it all seems meaningless. But do you think a lot of people accept that fact, especially wealthy people?
Yeah, they reach a stage where there's nothing left to conquer. There's no new goals to face. That they can overtake one company and they overtake another company and they get a certain amount of money and power and prestige and they run out of things to seek and pursue and it gets all a little boring for them.
Wow. Is that why some people go into committing evil?
Yeah, I imagine that would be the reason. Matthew's been told before that uh, something that's more elusive and more
Yeah.
attractive to people than money is power. And one of the
Wow.
reasons the elite wanted to lock us up in COVID was they wanted to make us controlled by them and make us stay in our houses and put masks on and stay 10 feet away from each other. They love to say, look at those little idiots doing what we tell them to do. So that power, they go after power, which leads them to evil because, in Taylor's song, uh, uh, The Fate of Ophelia, she says, honing her powers. And the people in witchcraft, they hone their powers, just like Matthew has honed his powers
Hmm.
in the prophetic as he's done 20,000 prophecies. He's become better and better. And doing interviews like this, he hones his powers. So, certain people who have got everything at their feet start to explore themes that normal people can't enter into.
Wow.
They aren't
That's the
necessarily evil, it's just open to them, from Matthew made a couple of comments to a Christian today and basically upset the Christian and just sharing what's going on, that judgment has begun in the house of God and God ejected a whole lot
oh,
of people out of heaven this week and really upset the person. And he said when Jesus said he'll vomit them out of his mouth, he vomited some of the people out of heaven out. And she said, "Isn't that verse from 2,000 years ago? Why would it be today?" And so she
wow.
objected by saying he's wrong, and then she went on about the Muslims are the trouble in the world. And Matthew said the Eiffel Tower, the Twin Towers were attacked by the American government, and the American government professionally demolished those buildings, and it wasn't so much the aircraft that did it. And she really had a problem with that. And Matthew says, if you're after truth, not just what the government tells you, you'd find out truth. But she went from being a friend to someone who doesn't really like Matthew anymore. And I personally blame I can't blame people for pursuing witchcraft because it seems to work more effectively than Christian prayers.
Hmm. You're right. And sometimes maybe Martin needs to apply wisdom when he's arguing with people because they don't have that level of understanding, number one. And number two is that sometimes Matthew gets it all wrong as well. And the thing is, it's just like that other person is so right. And oh, yes, it's Muslim. The other one say, no, it is Americans. Why do you care about all of those things? It doesn't matter to me, King Solomon. I don't want to know who destroyed that, what do you call number, 1111, wherever. But
Twin
Matthew's,
Towers,
yeah,
9/11.
yeah, there's so many times Matthew argue blindly himself.
Yeah, Matthew's pretty stupid.
Extremely.
Matthew's a dumb prophet. Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to keep your
He,
friends,
he
Matthew.
hasn't got good grace and ways to deal with people. I guess he's just so sick and tired of Christians, he wants to get in an argument with one.
No, emotional intelligence, Matthew. You need to grow in that area.
Yeah.
Wow. Sense it, sense it. When you are becoming irritable to people, just step back. But Matthew has changed a lot in Solomon, isn't it? He used to
Yeah,
do.
he's a master work in progress, you know.
Oh
He's
my
got
God.
this reflection. He's gonna write a book, be a co-writer in a book for millionaires and billionaires and the world's top musicians and actors. And he's had it professionally commissioned by someone who's very talented, that's got great music and is a real smart entrepreneur when it comes to her music. And it's like made him really happy. He really wants to do a good job. Really wants to do a good job of this message.
Well, he was already trying to dodge it in Solomon.
Ah, yeah, but that's fight or flight syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah, Matthew, I don't want to put any work. I don't know what to say, Tolu, in all of this chapter. Do research, Matthew. That's it. Wow. Well, hopefully we won't let Taylor Swift down and all of our friends that are looking forward to this book. King Solomon, you are going to speak a lot into the book as well. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
that's part of the reason Matthew wanted to speak to me today, so he gets used to my voice and gets used to me, so I can help him write the book.
wow, Matthew, you've got an agenda.
Yeah, Matthew normally doesn't have agendas.
But this time around, I was thinking of speaking with you as well, but Matthew just confirmed there. So that was really good because I
Oh,
really
so
enjoyed.
you're already thinking of doing a
Yeah,
Solomon part two?
yeah, yeah.
I
That's why I
see
did not
Matthew
deal with
without
you.
knowing gets led by the Holy Spirit, doesn't he?
Yeah, if I was open to speak to another person, I would have said, no, Matthew, it's not King Solomon today. You see that I accepted your offer easily because I wanted to speak to King Solomon as well.
Yeah, well, Matthew thought he achieved something today, telling you who to interview, but he already was deciding to interview me.
Yeah, because it was beautiful speaking with you yesterday. King Solomon, did pleasure ever genuinely satisfy or merely distract or both?
You got to fill in your days, you know.
Yeah,
When you've got all power and authority and you haven't got armies marching out to war, all you have to do is feed yourself
yeah.
and fill in the day. You've got to fill in your days, you know. I could spend a whole day just walking up to each of my wives and giving them a hug and a kiss, and then having a short talk, and I'd spend the whole day just meeting my wives and talking to my wives. You got to do
Wow,
things to fill in time. Just like Matthew wakes up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, has to fill in time to 5 o'clock in the evening when these interviews happen. Takes a lot to, you know, fill in the time, and it's depressing. And
wow,
so I had to do things to distract myself, and
wow,
we didn't have Netflix or YouTube or TV in those days, and so there's only so many times you can have a party and have dancers and performers at your party. So you had to fill in time. So I was constantly trying to do things to distract myself, you know.
wow. That's so beautiful. I love
And
the way
some
you.
people would say that I was really evil because I married women from occultish backgrounds with different foreign gods, and I built altars and did things for foreign gods and for my foreign wives, and I did design geomantra, the symbols for witchcraft and the Masonic
Wow,
Lodge, and all of dark power comes from my
wow,
symbols, and I
wow,
designed them for them. And because my wives wanted to worship in their way and do their things, and I just
wow.
applied myself to that. But no, he's a pretty amazing God, you know, when you
Yes,
or you
he
check
is.
him out and you pursue him and you know him. His love and his respect and his friendship is the greatest possession you can have in life. And Taylor,
Abs-
I really encourage you to ask questions, and pepper the Father with questions about anything, like get to know the Father, get to know the Holy Spirit, get to know everyone in heaven. I'm pleased you took me up on my offer to talk to me personally. I enjoyed our talk yesterday after the conversation was finished, and I'm pleased to give you answers. And just know that you can talk to Michael Jackson or Diana or the Queen or John Lennon or Prince or anyone that you choose in heaven, and ask them questions. And all of you listening, use Matthew's open heaven, use Matthew's power and anointing to access anyone in heaven, because you're walking and operating in Matthew's portal. You all have the same heavenly access. It's like you've got a relationship with Jesus and he's given you access to everyone in heaven. You've got a relationship with Matthew and you can ask anyone who's passed on from the past questions, and you can interact. And the more questions you ask and the better questions you ask, the more you'll come to know God, and the more you'll come to know his kingdom. And uh, and but I will remind you, Taylor, and people, that the most precious possession you can have is an intimate relationship with God, your Father.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. King Solomon, you said something that you married from a lot of other gods. Your wife wanted to worship their gods. You make room for that. Why do you think you are in heaven then? How did you make it to heaven? Doing all of those stuffs, involving in witchcraft, but at the same time, being a Christian. Now, so don't let me use the word Christian. At the same time, still having intimate relationship with God. How are you able to do both? Because I think this is what we're trying to answer by this book. How can you be so wealthy, be so into the world, have 1,000 wives, and then still be close to God? What's the
Yeah,
secret?
well, it's because God is multifaceted that I could live the life I lived. He's not
Oh,
found in one facet. He's found in 1,000 different facets. Yeah, I
wow.
could look into each of my 1,000 wives' eyes and see a different dimension of God.
Wow.
And as I met all of my children and spent time with my children, I saw God looking out of their eyes at me.
Wow. So we're so narrow minded.
Yes, humans can be very narrow-minded, and if they don't possess wisdom, if they don't possess the mind of God, another definition of wisdom is having the mind of God. And when you
Wow.
possess the mind of God and you possess wisdom, you can see that mankind can be so narrow-minded and so brainwashed and so conditioned by what they think is true.
Wow. 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 This conditioning is so damaging.
You need to look through a kaleidoscope of love and see the dimensions of love, and you'll find that they're far superior to man's idea of what love is.
Wow. My God.
Each of my wives could love me in a different way. Each of my wives, I'm not talking about sex, each of my wives had different parts of their personality and ministered to different parts of me. Like some
Wow.
were good cooks, some were good with clothes, some were good fashion, but dressed me with fashion. Some were good tailors, some were good mothers. Some they all appealed to a different part of me.
Wow. People are too narrow-minded. King Solomon.
And they were all happy to be my wife.
They
There's
are
even
all.
there's even people listening.
Yeah.
There's even young girls, like women listening that still want to be my wife.
In heaven,
No, on earth.
on earth now.
Yeah, there's women listening that would love to be one of my wives.
So can they be?
Wow. You
Can,
and
can you?
Matthew, you and Matthew are the forerunners, aren't you? You sort of what you say seems to happen.
I'm always excited when I love. I love love, King Solomon. So maybe you could make the wish of those people come to pass.
Yeah. You and I both know. You and I both know the answer to that question. We
We
don't have to
do, we
speak it
do.
out loud. Because
Yeah.
all the women that want to become, they can read my mind and they already know their answer.
Wow, King Solomon. Man, the church do not know God. It's sad. Have you ever seen someone that is surprised seeing you in heaven?
Oh, yeah. A lot of Christians were surprised, didn't really approve of me being there.
Are you joking?
Christians that knew that I had wives that were into witchcraft and Christians who knew I designed the symbols for witchcraft.
Yeah.
Christians who knew that judged me and didn't think I was in heaven
Wow.
and refused to accept me being in heaven.
Wow. Are you
God,
able to?
designed me and planned for me to build His holy temple, but the same God like had a switch of mind or was bipolar and didn't let me into heaven. That's what they think.
Wow.
The King David was his favorite king. My father was his favorite king. He
Yeah.
didn't allow King David to build the temple, but had King David store up the resources for the temple that I would build, then I
Wow.
built the temple and then God changed his mind and said, no, you go to hell. You've done
Wow.
too much witchcraft. It's a schizophrenic God that they serve, isn't it? That's why
Yes, please.
that's why they haven't got a cure to schizophrenic because their God is schizophrenic.
Man, because it's the heart. Your heart is the key. You wanted to serve God. You asked for God wisdom. God said, what do you want? You could have taken anything. But you asked for wisdom. You wanted to rule the children of God in the right way. And you
Yeah.
did in a way.
And Matthew was asked the same question. He asked me anything and I'll give it to you. And Matthew said he wanted prophetic dreams and visions.
Wow.
So he's had a few prophetic dreams, but he's mostly had visions. He sees me in heaven. He interviews people in heaven. He sees them. He has visions of Tiffany sitting on his table here. He sees Taylor Swift in visions. He sees people in visions, but he didn't ask for money or wealth or finance or cars or anything. He just asked for prophetic dreams and visions.
Wow. It's so beautiful how you get what you ask from God. I asked for something different, but I've got what I asked for. So, but it's not money either. And it's always interesting that God is listening to your heart.
Taylor's
If you
asking for wisdom now too.
tell us for wisdom now,
Taylor just asked for wisdom now. Taylor uh, drew really close to God after she had a talk with me last
wow,
night.
wow,
Yeah, she
wow,
can't believe she can't believe she's been given access to all the greatest minds in heaven.
wow. Oh my God. This God is so large than what my mind can comprehend. Like each time you just see another facet of him, and you'd be thinking, no, it can't be true. But it is true. So do you understand Adolf Hitler better now?
Yeah, he was a master strategist and a master general and a master man of warfare. And he was only he was only defeated with the power of the West getting together. He was a
Wow.
formidable enemy, and
Wow.
he just didn't win because he didn't have enough resources.
Wow. Wow. That's deep. Just like they killed, the West killed and Gaddafi.
Yeah,
You know Gaddafi,
yeah,
Martin?
yeah. I've
Wow.
heard of him. I don't know the story.
Yeah. Wow. Man, King Solomon, my head is just going. Like between you and King David, who is the closest to God?
Dad,
Oh, wow.
but Dad's got his own temple. There's a temple, there's a throne room for everyone.
Yeah.
Then there's a throne room of David's that's for the elite,
Wow.
from 7 and above.
Wow. And he's got that.
And so the true friends of God go in that throne room, and none of them sing empty praise.
It's proper, real praise.
Because
Genuine.
if if God took a sickle
Yeah.
and went and cut all the empty praise out of a church, there'd only be 3 people out of 100 singing. All the rest is hot air.
Wow. Wow. So the world would do better without churches.
Yeah, well, it's hard to, it's hard to imagine the world without churches, but certainly the people listening to this broadcast don't need to walk into any church to grow in intimacy with God. And that's what the Apostle Paul didn't go to a church. He went and studied in Arabia on a rock or a mountain, and he just studied the Old Testament scrolls to get his message. So many people, Elijah, Jeremiah, they're by themselves, and they developed intimacy with God. This concept that you have to go to a building each week is a man-made thing.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
If God is omnipresent, if God is everywhere, you should be able to go and sit under a rock in a forest and encounter God.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. So we don't even believe what we say. We don't believe that God is
It's all
omnipresent.
man-made. Religion is man-made.
Yes, it is. And I think the world would do better without any religion today. The world will have done
Yeah,
better.
well, John Lennon's song "Imagine" and "No Religion" too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What gave him the genius to be able to write that lyric in his song?
It
No
has to be God.
borders, no money, no religion too.
Yeah. That would have been the best world to live in, don't you think?
No hell below us, no heaven, no. Imagine there's no heaven, imagine no hell below us. He's just describing the perfect world.
Hmm. Wow. We wish we had that perfect world, but we don't at the moment.
No. And
You
people
know,
don't, what's the tragedy of heaven? And Matthew's still rocking from it. The tragedy of heaven was that the Christians who think that they deserved heaven and did everything to deserve heaven, they didn't give a flying shit about how God felt.
so what's the point? What's the point?
They could care less.
Oh my God. Religion.
The
It just
people of
don't.
the other mountains don't miss them.
Wow.
They were never embraced by the Christians. People of
Wow.
the other mountains were never loved or embraced by the Christian church.
Wow. 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 That sense of entitlement is really deep. Wow.
Yeah.
It's really deeply
Maybe,
ingrained.
maybe somewhere, Matthew just had the thought, maybe somewhere in your 20 chapters of that book, you can have a line to remove entitlement in people's, uh, in remove the sense of entitlement in people's lives.
I think that could be a book on its own.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote a book about Prince Andrew, the entitled prince. So this will be a good book, The Entitled Christians. I don't know.
It can't, it's a waste of your time to write a book to Christians these days.
I know, I know. But sometimes you never know. One person can pick that book and become a blessing. So usually I'm always just after one person when I'm writing a book. If we've got one person in mind, yesterday the person we had in mind was Taylor. And I had to keep reminding Matthew, it is Taylor we wanted to write this book for her. So the book needs to be aligned to what she needs to get from the book.
And Kanye.
Yeah, when I mean Taylor, Taylor is just a persona of that audience. So we've got so many that sit within that archetype. So
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
That's a big word, archetype.
Yeah.
That's a big word for you to learn.
Oh my God. Well, if I wanted to speak big words, I could invest time, but I could care less, King Solomon, about big words. And what's the point of communicating and people don't even understand what you're communicating across? Like Jordan Peterson, it makes his channel so boring to Matthew because if you need to pick the dictionary all the time, that's not the best way of
Uh,
communicating.
Matthew won't watch Russell Brand either.
Because it's too much of
His
vocabulary for you.
vocabularies, yeah.
Yeah, so people just need to simplify things. We're not talking about it's not Churchill. What did the guy that you mentioned earlier on?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare, yeah. Yeah. Maybe when I say with Shakespeare, you will have to speak in like just simpler vocabulary just for me to understand what he's
Yeah,
saying.
Taylor would like Shakespeare interviewed again.
Ah, that would be good. That interview was really good. Yeah, we could. We've spoken to a lot of people, Matthew, that we've even forgotten about.
Yeah. She wants she says she wants people interviewed that will increase her wisdom.
Oh, so you think if we interviewed Shakespeare and T something Lewis? Remind me, Matthew, is it T.S. Lewis or T.M.
Yes.
Lewis?
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis. I knew it was some C.S. Lewis. Those are kind of very advanced people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who's who's that famous writer that has all the 40-cent books?
40 what?
Or that famous writer that's got all the 40-cent books that we interviewed.
40-cent book.
Yeah, 40 cents on Amazon. Somehow he got his books made 40 cents.
Oh, well, I never knew. I can't remember that.
Yeah, you interviewed him before one time.
Sometimes I need to go back to the videos and see those we've interviewed. That's why it's good to write a book for them because the book reminds you that you've spoken to them before. So hopefully my analogy books will close that gap.
Yeah.
Wow. King Solomon, what do you means? keep believing that external abundance will quiet their internal longing?
Well, because they listen to advertising and they think that everyone with abundance is happy. And Taylor would be
Mm.
the first to say that, she says abundance and money just gives you more problems and more to worry about. There's,
Wow.
there's more fires to put out. There's
Wow.
jealousies and envies and everyone approaching you for money and everyone wanting something from you, and you can't really be sure of your friends. You have to be careful about everything. You have to watch every time you go out of your door and what fashion you're wearing. Everyone's looking at you, everything you do, people are measuring and commenting
Wow.
on. It's Matthew just sits in his house and sits at his computer and goes to the toilet and makes himself a coffee and has a
Wow.
meal from time to time, has no worries, he has really no concerns, he battles with depression, but I've got 1,001 things to worry about. And there's so much of me would like to swap my life for Matthew's and just
Oh,
do
wow.
one podcast a day and live on money coming in every 2 weeks uh,
Wow.
and live a simple life. It's not as easy as you think, and that's why I really appreciate you're going to write this book for me. And Matthew's scared that he hasn't got anything to say to me, but I think he's one of the wisest Christians I've ever talked to in my life. And of course, he's going to come out with many things, and he doesn't know, but Solomon's going to come out with some things, and the Holy Spirit's going to lead his words, and Bethany and Diana's going to lead his words, and we're looking forward to what you have to say. And I'm deeply honoured that you would invest, maybe 10 hours or 15 hours into doing something for me when I can't do anything but offer you a friendship. And I guess I'm little bit a little bit like Jesus, that you
Mm.
lay down your life for Jesus, and there's not he laid down his life for you and lived 33 years to bring you his teaching, and you spend the rest of your life trying to pay him back, and he did that freely for you. And I guess I can just the way I can pay you and Matthew back for investing that time into me is just to live out that book and put that
Mm.
book into practice.
Wow. 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 That's beautiful, Taylor. Wow. Matthew always says, stop for the one. And that's the goal. He taught me that. He said, Tolu, if you just have one person in mind when you need to write a book, one soul deserves you to spend 40 hours or whatever hours of your time in writing books. And that's why I'm not usually discouraged, even if no one got the book, because I've done what I'm supposed to do and I leave the rest for God to figure out.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
glad.
as he's been answering my questions, he's proven to be a really wise God. But like Solomon said,
Yeah.
each of his wives gave him a different dimension of love, and I tend to believe that there's a different dimension of wisdom to be found in all the biblical characters and all the godly men and women that lived through the centuries. So if I start throwing out suggestions of people for you, I hope that you can take an hour to interview them and give me
Absolutely.
research on some of the things I
Absolutely.
want to know.
Absolutely. I would be glad
I
to do that.
totally trust, I totally trust you as a person who asks questions, because sometimes you ask the question that I would have asked, and
Oh,
it's like you're reading my mind.
wow.
I think your alien friend Diana. I think she's reading my mind and asking my questions for me.
Wow. 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 God is good at that. It's good at meeting your needs even before you say it. Wow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that you guys are listening, even though it takes a level of faith to believe that you guys exist. But sometimes I think maybe you exist because yesterday I don't know how my laptop started playing two videos at the same time. I was not even in front of the laptop. Never experienced that. I know Matthew has experienced something similar. And Matthew was like, maybe tell us the one. I'm like, what happened? Yeah.
Oh, you had a little miracle happen for you. So hopefully we
Yeah,
don't have to give you two miracles.
that's enough. That is so enough. Oh, King Solomon, what longing remained untouched for you after you possessed power, wisdom, and influence?
Deeper relationship with God,
Wow.
a more in-depth understanding of the gods and spirituality. I explored the gods of my wives. I explored the gods of my subjects. I explored
Yeah.
intimacy with God. I explored intimacy with the Holy Spirit. I explored the law. I explored everything. Philosophers, great writers. But the greatest possession I have is my relationship with God, and
Hmm.
that's the chief. That's the one. That's the one relationship where your hunger will never run out. You'll always be satisfied. You'll always be filled when
Wow.
you're pursuing God.
Wow. You always be full while pursuing God. You'll never be full as well at the same time, isn't it? You always
Yeah,
desire more.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You, all you have to do is get your daily bread, and
Mm.
each day you've got to get your daily bread, and you just hunger and get full. And at the end of one of these hour conversations, you get full, and then you get your daily bread, and then you wait for weekends, and sometimes it's 2 and 3 hours, and you get full, and you keep on getting full, and your hunger remains.
Wow. Wow. Did your soul ever become exhausted from constantly pursuing more?
No, it's constantly refreshed. It's like a
Hmm.
spring of living water bubbling up,
Wow.
constantly being refreshed.
Wow. So, how do people become so carnally minded, even though they've been in church all their life and do not want to pursue an intimate relationship with God?
That's exactly the reason why they're carnally minded, because they're not full of the living water, and they're not getting the daily bread.
Wow.
Yeah, if you're running after a different sustenance, it won't provide what you want. And that's why the elite that have come from heaven are so happy, because they finally
Wow.
found what they were pursuing and something that sustains them. But fooled by the world and deceived by Satan to run after things that were shiny like gold, but it wasn't gold.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Satan's very good at making shiny things and things that are bright and shiny, and people run after them.
Wow.
Like a Bentley.
Hmm.
Everyone wants to possess a Bentley. Well, a Bentley won't solve the fact that your husband's having erectile dysfunction. Uh, if you get him a Bentley, he won't suddenly be better. A Bentley won't take cancer away.
No.
A Bentley won't give you uh, uh, a way to stop your hunger for knowledge.
Absolutely.
A Bentley will just have you something that you don't want to park in an unsafe place, and you don't want to rust.
Wow. It's so
But it's
deep.
pretty impressive to drive down the road in.
Maybe, maybe. I love nice cars, by the way. So, so if I can buy a Bentley, I will buy one. But it doesn't change nothing. My heart belongs to God.
I'm very aware of who I'm speaking to, Tolu.
My heart belongs to God. That's just it. So you can have both, You can have your Bentley. You can have your Mustang, wherever, all those nice cars that you want to have. You can have it.
That was
But let
Solomon speaking about the Bentley, it wasn't Taylor.
I know I'm just telling Taylor
Uh,
that
you're
that she
including me in the conversations now, Tolu.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like you're interviewing Solomon and me.
Yeah, you can have it all. So far your heart belongs to God. King
Yeah,
Solomon.
I'm really the way I'm warming to God is through my questions, but through the great amount of time Matthew's invested in getting to know me.
Wow.
Because he's just a human who's watching video after video. I've been learning more and more about me so he can
Hmm.
communicate better with me. And he's not a Swiftie, he's not a fan, he's someone who generally loves me and wants the best for me and wants to
Wow.
use all of his life and knowledge and wisdom and pour it into me and open up things and access for me into the heavens and encourage me and lift me up. It's like I'm going up and he's got his hand underneath me, pushing me over
Wow.
the fence. And
Wow.
he likes that image because he used that image with you and your husband pushing you up. And it's a good image. And he just wants to encourage me and mentor me and offer up his whole life as a living sacrifice. John 15
Yeah.
offer his life as a living sacrifice. Well, John 15 says, better love has no man than to lay down his life for another. So that's not living sacrifice, but that's the same theme. And he just wants to lay down his life for me. And I appreciate you saying that you write, stop for the one, you're writing the whole book for me. And I know other people will be blessed by the book and be encouraged by the book, not just me, but and as you dictate your book, we'll be listening, and I really appreciate that you love me and you believe in me, and we're pleased to do that miracle in your house to give you physical evidence that we really exist.
I think it is true. That I even thought it was Lana, and I'm thinking Lana is not in the kitchen. Why is my laptop still making noise? And it was two videos going at the same time. Man, even though I believe Matthew, but that's such a good evidence.
Yeah. That-
Wow. You
That's why we were constantly itching him and turning on his phone and
oh
stuff.
wow. It works. Witchcraft works. What happened to Christianity?
Yeah.
My God. I can't believe the amount of advice that Gabriel gets from this warlock he's currently working with. And he takes them on board and just do it. How can you exist in both worlds? I don't know how he does it. But feel God's wisdom. He knows how to manage people in witchcraft and can still be their friend and can still take advice from them. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I've been directing Matthew around recently, and it's really amazing to see such a passionate Christian take orders from me, a powerful witch, a witch that has ascended in power. And, you know, people miss my witchcraft terms. Like, that's just one of the songs uh, he's listened to it. Now he's got a playlist of my latest albums with lyrics, so he can read all the lyrics. And in Fate of Ophelia, it says honing your powers. I said,
Yeah,
that's exactly what a witch would be doing, honing your powers.
absolutely. Wow. King Solomon, while you were expressing yourself through what became I can't pronounce that word, Ecclesiastes, Proverbs,
Ecclesiastics.
were you speaking to yourself?
I was frustrated.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What made you
I was
frustrated?
writing out my own thoughts, but writing it down so other people can have a record of it too. I was
Wow.
just frustrated.
That you had all of these things and you still feel empty.
Yeah. Because it's frustrating when you can't solve things.
Wow. Were you not really close to God while you were on earth?
I was close enough. I was close as I could get.
Then you got to heaven and
The
then,
closer, the closer you get to God on earth, the more
yeah,
frustrated you get.
absolutely. I agree with that. I so much agree with what you said.
And then you get to heaven and you find out God's frustrated too. So is there any place with no worries? See, the Christians that were in heaven were so in bliss and so happy and
Wow.
so in peace that they didn't even want to enter into God's sadness.
Because they've arrived to where they've always
They
wanted to
wanted no
be.
portion of that.
Wow.
They didn't really care about God. God was crying out to them. And it's not
Wow.
as though he's just using Matthew. He's using all the musicians, all the worship music, everything, crying out to the people to approach him. It wasn't just Matthew a new message, there's concurrent messages coming on. John Lennon had been writing messages for 40 years.
Wow.
No, not just John Lennon. Many thousands of musicians were
Um,
encourage people to grow close to God. It's not you, Matthew. You don't have to take everything aboard your shoulders. It's June that kicked them out. It's June that come
wow.
from another planet of another race of people. She
Hmm.
came with the full revelation of the Bible, watched, listened, helped, inspired, and then took action. And it's none to your blame. You're not to blame for this. Stop taking the blame upon yourself.
Wow.
Jesus spoke for years in the scriptures warning people that they had to have fruit. If fruit
Wow.
in heaven was developing intimacy with God and being God's friend, and
Yeah.
you didn't have that fruit, well, then you're a tear.
Wow. King Solomon, did you ever long for simplicity after carrying greatness?
I lived in simplicity.
Wow.
Well, that's yeah, being profound wisdom is simplicity.
Wow.
It's the world boiled down to one sentence.
Wow.
Each thought, each practice drilled down to one quote. That's what
Wow.
wisdom is. Wisdom's common sense. So common sense is simplicity, but sometimes you have to have profound knowledge to be able to see the simplicity of things. Just like comedians see truth that other
Hmm.
people can't see.
Yeah.
It makes sense when you hear the comedian say it. Makes
Yeah.
sense. It
Yeah.
opens your eyes and you see things in a way you never saw before. That's wisdom. That's simplicity. And
Wow.
Jesus spoke in a very simple way, but it was very deep and profound.
Wow. So people have got different understanding of what simplicity is to them.
Yeah, simplicity isn't spastic. Simplicity isn't Down syndrome. Simplicity is uh, something profound explained in a simple way, breaking something down to its easiest understandings.
Wow.
Just because something's simple to understand doesn't mean it should be ignored.
Wow. Wow.
Your
That's
whole
deep.
world is broken down to simplicity. 40 kilometers an hour here, 60 kilometers an hour here. Stop, beware of stop sign. There's signs. Signs are just a form of simplicity. Jesus
Wow.
said in Matthew 24, all these signs will precede the second coming. People have been looking at those signs for years. That's simplicity. Showing
Wow.
signs is simplicity. Signs and wonders are simplicity. Like if Taylor needed a way to break through to you, she certainly did it with your computer.
Wow. And it was while I was on the phone with Matthew.
Yeah,
So Matthew could witness that as well.
yeah.
Wow.
All she had to do was walk into your house and touch those two open browsers.
And that was it.
Yeah. He had a
Wow.
witch living with him one time and I visiting one time. She did 17 signs like that. She turned his shower off 3 times while he's in the shower, turned his phone on multiple times. Yeah. Did all
Wow.
sorts of things.
Wow. So looking at everything, King Solomon, what kind of life ultimately escapes emptiness?
It's very hard to escape emptiness. You've just got
Wow.
to have a goal and plans and steps and goals and be pursuing something. Otherwise, you can become empty if you don't have a purpose or direction or goals. Then
Wow.
you can become empty.
Wow. It's so difficult. Let me move my laptop closer.
Got to be something moving you forward.
Wow. It's so difficult to escape emptiness. That is deep. Wow. 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 Wow.
Are you going to do your roundup?
Is that Matthew or King Solomon?
It's both.
I'm really enjoying speaking with you, King Solomon. You're so full of wisdom. So I'm looking forward to that book that we're going to write. I'm tempted to start today. Oh, we'll see how much you go.
Oh well, if you have like a 3 hour, 4 hour break, you can do the first two chapters.
Yeah, I'll look at my calendar and see where I've got space in the day. Oh, King Solomon, I really, really enjoy speaking with you. Do you have a lot of people that sit at your feet in heaven?
Buddha,
Buddha.
yeah, Saint Francis,
Oh, wow.
Pope Francis,
They just listen.
some of the saints.
Wow. It will be good just to sit at your feet, King Solomon.
I mostly minister to God.
That's good because God needs more people to minister to Him, isn't it?
Yeah, my wives minister to God too.
Oh,
My
that's so
wives
good.
have, my wives have become very wise over thousands of years.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow. You're so wise, King Solomon.
yeah.
So,
My wisdom is a gift of God. Keep on deflecting that. You notice I don't take credit for that.
yeah.
It's God's gift, and anyone can become as wise as me.
So
Taylor,
on your
you can become as wise as me.
wow, on your wise, King Solomon, were you searching for love, comfort, escape, validation through those
All,
relationships?
all of them, but um, marrying each of those wives was a way of empowering them and bestowing power to them and authority to them. I
Wow,
passed on what I had to them. I was
wow,
sharing and spreading my power. It was also a good way to have a lot of sons.
wow. to have a lot of sons.
a lot of
Wow.
sons and daughters.
So if there's any, what was your greatest regret?
I don't have any regrets.
Wow, that took you some wow.
Yeah, Matthew was waiting for me to speak.
You don't have any regret.
No. That's a life well lived if you can live without regrets.
Wow.
I was
Do you think,
empowered by the Holy Spirit with my decisions.
do you think I have any regret, King Solomon?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think I have any regret. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Don't you think?
Yeah. Taylor says she looks forward to hearing the first 2 chapters of a book.
Wow. So we need to get walking. So my final question for you, King Solomon. What do people misunderstand most about wisdom?
That they can develop intimacy without, they can develop wisdom without knowing a source,
Wow, without knowing God.
knowing a source.
A source.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't have to be God.
Mm.
Just to
Well,
open it up for our audience.
wow.
There's a lot of other faiths and false gods and demons that have a lot of wisdom.
Wow.
In fact, much of what the Christian church calls wisdom is demonic wisdom.
Wow. King Solomon. Wow. I've really enjoyed this conversation with you. Matthew is getting used to carrying your voice like you carry God's voice. It's beautiful that is able to communicate all your big, big words across. So how can one be dumb and be wise at the same time?
One's flesh and one's God.
Matthew, that's you. One is flesh, one is God, and both coexist within us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you enjoyed yourself, King Solomon? Because I have surely have enjoyed myself listening.
Well, I like talking to you. I like interacting with Taylor, and Taylor can finish her night, ask me more questions if she chooses.
Wow. And we're looking forward to writing that book. So we love you, King Solomon. Let me quickly say hello to my father, my
Hi,
athlete father.
hi, daughter.
How are you doing?
Oh, good. I enjoy these messages.
Oh, are you acquiring wisdom from Solomon?
Uh, the messages have improved since you had your earthly audience.
Oh, oh, because we've got a focus. Is that why?
Yeah, because you're directing more at the earthly audience and heavenly audience.
Yeah, because we thought God was narrow-minded before, that God only cares about Christians.
Yeah,
And God allowed us to go for that long
yeah,
in our ignorance.
yeah.
Wow. That message will be more relatable to you, Daddy, because you were not for Christians from day one. So you enjoy this. And Matthew is already yawning. I'm sure Matthew will be thanking God that today is only for 1 hour.
And 2 half an hour messages later on.
Well, we'll see. Thank you, Daddy.
Yeah, see you.
Papa, I cannot close without not saying hello to you.
Hello.
I'm good. How are you?
So do you think Solomon's sounding like me?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of similarities. It's like I'm speaking to you.
He is me.
Wow.
He's so close to me that he can speak in my resonance.
Wow. That's beautiful. I would love to be that close that I
He's
could
my
speak your
son.
language.
He's my son.
Wow.
Just like Emmanuel is my son.
Oh, that's the go to
We
work.
share a son, Tolu.
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's my son and he's your son.
Wow. That's deep. Papa.
Yeah. I come out with deep things from time to time.
All the time, Papa. You do. You do. Like everything is all planned from the beginning. Oh, I just love you, Papa. Ben saying hello to you as well.
Hello, Tolu. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you as well?
Yeah, I'm good. That was an easy interview for Matthew.
Yeah, it was. Matthew has got his favorite ones that it carries their voice so easily. You are among them. Michael, John, Matthew likes carrying those voices. Emmanuel, I'm saying hello to you as well.
Hello, Mum.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good.
I really enjoyed myself today. I wish I don't have time constraints, but I guess Matthew loves the fact that I've got time constraints on Monday to Fridays.
Yeah, he does. You read his mind. You're becoming a bit of a witch.
Good witch. Maybe I can learn from Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Love you all. Love you, Jesus, Holy Spirit, June, Tiffany, Victoria. I love you all. Matthew.
Rightio. See you later, everybody. Thanks for listening.